Hi everyone, this is Jerry from the ChessNetwork, and this is a video on how to checkmate with two bishops. Any questions, comments, or suggestions can be directed to any of the websites you see below, and for those of you on YouTube, I'd appreciate a comment, and it doesn't have to be a comment necessarily pertaining to this video, but I think it'd be pretty cool to know where exactly you're from. If you could just say hello from wherever, especially for those of you that are from the US. I think it'd be pretty neat to know what state you're from. So I hope you enjoy the video. There are many different ways one can go about checkmating a lone king when you have two bishops. The way I'm going to illustrate this is one that involves a very systematic approach. It may not be the fastest, but it's of a simplistic sort. The first step is going to involve positioning our bishops on squares so that they control all four of these critical central squares. After they are controlling these four squares, we will next occupy the center with our bishops. So let's see how we can do just that. First move is going to be bishop to g2, checking the black king, but more importantly, controlling these two light squares, namely the squares d5 and e4. King to e5, bishop to b2, checking the black king, and now we have all four central squares guarded by our bishops. The king is forced away from the center, and now it's a matter of occupying the four central squares with our bishops. We're going to first play bishop to d4, and now if king here, we would simply play bishop here, and we've completed step 2, which is to occupy the center with our bishops. But the king doesn't go here, but instead king to e6, and we can still occupy the center, only this time with bishop to e4. And from this position here, from the position of these two bishops here, we have limited the black king to just 12 squares. These squares I have highlighted in red are the only squares that this king can move around on. The next step is actually going to be to get our king to either this square or this square. And the end result of this is going to be to push the king that much further back. We want the king on the edge of the board, and from the edge of the board we will eventually force the king to one of the corners. So I'm going to move the king towards this square. Actually, let me back up a moment. We're going to go want the king either here or here. If we move the king to this f5 square, we will be shifting our bishops in this direction next. And if we move our king to this square, we will be shifting our bishops in this direction. Let's see exactly what I'm talking about. King to e7, king to f2, king to e6, king to f3, king to d6, king to f4. King to e6, guarding f5. We want to get to this square, so we're just going to make a waiting move with our king. Our bishops are fine where they're at. King to g5, and the black king has to concede control of the f5 square. King to f5, king to d6. Now we want to be able to shift our bishops up, but the king, after his move to d6, is preventing either bishop from moving. So once again, we're going to make a waiting move. King to f6, king to d7, and now we're able to shift our bishops with our next two moves to the squares c5 and d5. The only question at this point is which bishop to move first. We want to keep in mind that we don't want to allow the black king to make a move to a square where it will be attacking one of our bishops. So with this in mind, the correct bishop to move first is this one, bishop to c5. And note that if we were to move this bishop first, the king could come here and be attacking our bishop. This is something we want to avoid. So, bishop to c5. Doesn't matter where the black king goes, the next move is going to be bishop to d5. Cannot be stopped. King to d8, bishop to d5. We have shifted our bishops up one rank. They started out here. By shifting them up one rank, we now restrain the black king to 6 squares. Excuse me, there should not be a circle here. These 6 squares, so we have reduced the king's mobility to 6 squares. We've cut it in half. Went from 12, now we're at 6. So after bishop to d5, king to d7. Once again, our objective from this position is going to be similar. Only this time we're going to want to get our king either on e6 or b6. If it's on e6, we'll be shifting our bishops like this. Or if our king is on b6, we would shift our bishops like this. King to e5, a waiting move. King to e8, king to e6, king to d8, the only move. And now once again we want to shift our bishops. And the bishop to move is this one first. Once again, if we move here, the king can come here and be threatening our bishop. We want to avoid this altogether. So we first move our dark square bishop, check the king, and now he has two choices. Does he head towards this corner or this corner? If he moves here, it's actually going to speed up the checkmating process. In fact, it'll be a checkmate in 6. And this is exactly what it looks like. Bishop to c6 check, king to f8, king to f6, king to g8, the only move, king to g6, and now black has the option of here or here. But it doesn't matter, because our next 3 moves are going to be the same either way. Namely in the form of bishop to c5, bishop to d5, and bishop to d4. So with king to f8, bishop check, king to g8, bishop check, king to h8, bishop check, mate. Or, instead of going to f8, let me back up. Instead of going here, the king goes in the corner. Once again, bishop to c5, king to g8, bishop to d5, check, king to h8, bishop to d4, checkmate. The other way for black to go is in this direction. After king to c8, bishop to c6, we have once again shifted our bishops up another rank. And from this position, our bishops confine the black king to just 2 squares. Or in other words, the black king can only move back and forth. In the meantime, we're going to want to move our white king to the a6 square. So let's see exactly what that looks like. King to b8, c8, it's white to move, and we want to control this square. So bishop to d7, control c8, king in the corner. We want to make a waiting move at this point. We don't want to move our bishop here and be controlling this square, because the position which has just arose is one which is called stalemate. Or in other words, when the black king is not in check and there are no legal moves. So in stalemate, nobody wins, nobody loses. It's a tie, it's a draw. This is something we want to avoid. We would rather checkmate, so I'm going to make a waiting move. Bishop to c5, king to b8, bishop to d6, check, king to a8, bishop to c6, checkmate. So that's all for this video. Hope you got something out of it. Take care. Bye.